It's Herm's house.
Love and family.
In Herm's house.
Not just you and me.
Herm's
Hello and welcome back to Herm's House podcast in studio. As you can see, we are in the studio.
Yes.
I am your host, Herm, and this is my wonderful wife and co-host, Kristin.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, good.
Appreciate you asking. So, what's going on with you today?
Today, well, we're in studio, obviously.
Yeah, I know.
We're making some upgrades,
Sure.
like our coffee mugs. You see our background. We're adding a little Herm touch to it.
Yeah.
You can notice a big giant helmet in the corner.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that! I didn't even
Yeah.
notice that.
Who put that there? How did that get
How
there?
did that get there? Oops. Yeah. Well, that's good. It's a nice touch, and it's just a little bit of us and our family. Although that we were talking about how Gordy's not involved in any of the.
We won't mention that to Gordy. He probably won't see this episode, but yeah, there is no pictures of Gordy yet.
He actually will not because I asked him why he doesn't watch us on his YouTube because he's always on YouTube.
Always on YouTube.
And he said it's because you guys just talk too much.
Oh no.
And I was like, "What's a talking show?" Oh, no. He's like, "Yeah, I don't, what do you want me to tell you?" I'm like,
yeah.
"Oh, wow.
Sorry, we need a Gordy corner.
I guess. Sure.
Yeah.
You can take care of that one."
Sure.
All right. But anyways, on today's episode, we wanted to go over life in uniform, but afterwards, no longer in
Yes,
uniform.
no longer
A
in
little transition, which I just did mine. I haven't even been retired a year.
You haven't even been retired a year.
Yeah, almost.
But why don't you let the people know? What did you do and how did you get there?
How did I get there? Well, I was in the Air Force.
Yes.
It was years ago.
Not
Decades, if you will. Back in 2000. Honestly, the journey started in 2003. Went to MEPS, and I had to
Right.
get a few waivers because, I don't know if I mentioned, when I was a kid, I fell out of a truck, hit my head. Everything's fine. I just
Yes.
wanted to clarify.
But it explains a lot, doesn't it?
Does it not? No. Rude. Whatever. I'm literally sitting right here. Anyways, and I had broke my leg. Well, I guess I dislocated it, but went through
But
the
I mean,
whole.
you have to explain because when you get into the
That's what I was
military,
saying. I went through the whole process, which I went through what's called MEPS, which is the Military Entrance Processing Station,
Correct.
which I, as a recruiter, am very familiar with.
Yes.
And the ins and outs. Now, had I known back in the day, I'd be like, nothing's wrong. I'm fine. Let's go.
Yes.
Which
No
I
one
would,
warned you.
which I would never tell any of my applicants. Anywho, got through, did my ASVAB, which is, do you know what the ASVAB stands for? Let's go. Come on, what you got?
ASVAB.
Yeah.
Aptitude,
Oh.
something
Yep.
very
Yeah.
actual
Nailed it.
Bravo test. I don't
Bravo
know.
test.
I have no idea.
It is the Armed Services
Oh, I was close.
Vocational Aptitude Battery. Yeah, battery just means test.
Oh.
So when people call it an ASVAB test, it's like, yeah, it's
You're like saying
redundant.
test.
Yeah, test. But
Yeah.
anyways, I did pretty good. Turns out I'm not too shabby on tests. And I was able to do, I went off to basic training 2004, 2 weeks out of high school. And like I told all of my applicants, whenever you go to basic training, that first night, you're going to cuss anybody out that, at least in your head,
Yes.
that told you to do this, that signed you up for this, that supported you in doing all of this stuff. And you're going to be like, why am I here? This is not where I belong.
Now, when you got in, did you
Yes.
get to pick your job immediately?
Yeah. So, well, because you joined through the Guard.
Yes.
And-
you went active duty.
Right. In the Air National Guard, that there's no such thing as open general, open electrical, any of that kind of stuff. So
Right.
in the Air Force, yes, or I'm assuming other branches as well, it is actually pretty common that if you don't really have a job in mind, you're just like, hey, I'm really good with my hands and I want to do something mechanical. They'll
Sure.
say you go open mechanical, and then while you're in basic training is when they'll determine you're going to be a mechanic. And you're just like, yay. No, I went in because my job had a bonus, a solid $7,000.
Ooh.
I thought I was
18-year-old
Oh
you.
my goodness. I bought rims and traded the car away like 6 months later.
Ugh.
It was a bad idea.
That's
Anywho,
a whole nother episode,
that's a whole nother-
finance,
yeah, finances.
and
We're gonna-
bonuses and whatnot.
bookmark that one because my word. So I went off to basic training. It's June of 2004.
Okay.
In the middle of San Antonio, Texas, in the middle of the summer, the humidity and gross.
Yep.
I
Same.
lost like 35 pounds in basic training.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure most of it was sweat because it was gross.
Oh, I know.
I had BDUs For those are battle dress uniforms, and that's the same uniform that your grandfather wore. That you never
I
got
never
to see.
wore them. I did see it very often.
Well, you never got to see it. Like you never actually had to polish boots.
No,
Had to
but I
polish.
do remember. Well, I don't recall my grandfather or my uncle polishing boots, but they were both maintenance type guys. So.
Yeah, but trust me. Well, they did during basic training. I'm sure,
basic
even
training,
back in the 50s or 60s,
Give it
whenever
the old
you're.
switch in.
Yeah, and that is a real legitimate. That's a real legitimate technique, and I mastered it. Anyways, my tech school was for aircraft armament. That was out there in Wichita Falls, Texas.
And for us that are listening that don't know what
Armament is?
Yes.
It's weapons, bombs,
correct,
missiles.
Well, I know that now.
All the things that go
everybody else
pew, pew,
listening
on the jet, though. Yeah, not like rifles, stuff like that.
No, right.
The rifle that I loaded the barrel was 5 feet long, so and there was 5 or 6 of them. I don't remember now.
Right.
I haven't used it. I haven't worked on them in a bit.
Sure.
But anyways, Wichita Falls, Texas. Let me tell you, that's a small town. I grew up in Odessa, Texas, and I thought that was a small town. No, Wichita Falls is probably a third the size of Odessa, Texas.
Yeah.
And there's nothing to do there, especially
I've
as
never
a
been there, so.
18-year-old. You remember? I don't know if you remember. Probably about 3 years before I retired, I actually was going to put in for a job in Wichita Falls.
Oh, that's right. I recall.
Yeah, and luckily they didn't allow me to
Sure.
submit a position.
Sure.
Yeah, but
So then you went off to tech school
had I gotten
there
there,
in
it
this
would've been-
small town
and
where you
then-
don't let little 18-year-olds run around.
No.
I've heard the trouble you've gotten into.
I didn't get in trouble there.
Sure.
I actually avoided it.
Right.
Probably not in the best. Anyways, we went from there. I got my first duty station was Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix.
Yep.
And I was there for 4.5 years. And then I went out to the Air National Guard afterwards. And we talked about it, my recruiting career out in California. And then we finished our career out in Texas. But I mean, 20.5 years of nothing but the military for me.
Mm-hmm.
And at no point was I actually a civilian even though there was a small break in between active duty and the Guard to where I did have other jobs, right, it was still pure military for me. Mm-hmm. So as far as the transitioning, it was significantly different than what you went through. I mean, you did 6 years and you joined.
Well, and I didn't join straight after turning 18.
You were an adult.
I was an adult because I had 2 kids at that point.
You were a mom.
I was a mom. I was a wife at that point.
Right.
I wanted to join because my grandfather was in, and my uncle was in. I saw them serving. Always wanted to. So I think growing up, I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'd have my tata, my grandfather, I call him tata.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, put me at attention. And right face, left, right. So I would do those things when I was smaller.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to do
Oh,
it.
what a nerd.
I was. I mean, looking back now, it was cute.
Sure.
But when I had my baby right after graduating high school. I graduated a year early, had my oldest son, started going to school and was working at the daycare center that my mom was working at. My son was there. Didn't really feel like I had a purpose, didn't really know what I wanted to do. School really wasn't working out for me.
Right.
Had my second baby and still feeling that way. So I thought, well, what is something I can do to help me with my benefits, to help, project my career and the things that I wanted to do was, join the military. And unfortunately at the time I didn't really get support at home.
Right.
With my ex-husband. So it was a little bit rough getting into it. I had knee surgery when I was in high school.
Yeah.
It was fully believed that I wasn't going to be able to make it. Wasn't going to work.
Sure.
But I did.
Maybe he was manifesting it a little bit.
Maybe a little bit, but it went through. And the process to get through was talk to the recruiter. Recruiter was like, let's take your test. Let's go to your ASVAB. Let's do MEPS, the medical. And everything just happened so fast. Within a month, I was signed, ready to go. Within a couple weeks after that, they're like, you got your date, you're leaving.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
there wasn't even a chance to be like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. So I got in. I was at the Guard, so I got to pick my job. Thankfully, my recruiter, I had a really high ASVAB score.
Yeah.
My recruiter's like, you need to be a contract specialist. It's available right now. If it's something on the outside world that you can transition out of, if you ever get out, he's like, do it. They make a lot of money.
I walked in there saying I was going to work on jets.
You said that immediately?
Yeah. I was
they
like,
didn't convince you? You
no,
just said
I said
it.
I'm going to work on jets, man. This sounds cool. This sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I wish my recruiter had been like, well, listen, you got a pretty high ASVAB score, because I did.
Yeah.
He's like, what about computers or electronics? Or,
But you also went to an active duty recruiter.
Correct.
So active duty recruiter, in
if there was
comparison to an air guard recruiter,
Yeah.
active duty recruiter, they send you off. You may never see them ever again.
and I did not.
Right. But an air guard recruiter, you come back. They
Yeah.
come back to you.
Which is why I was so successful, because the ones that came back were actually pleased with what I told them was going to happen. And
Exactly.
I was very transparent.
And I think you have to be a little bit more, and they all should be, recruiters and being upfront and honest. And I'm sure they're working on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
of
was
course.
very grateful. I also went to basic training in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
During when your brother was there, which we didn't
is
know each other at the
wild.
time.
Yeah, my little brother, he was graduating basic training
Yes.
in June of 2012, and that was
I
when
had
you
just
had
gotten there.
You'd been there for like 2 weeks,
Yes.
in the same squadron as my little
Same
brother.
squad. It was crazy
Yeah.
when you think about it, and how many squadrons and how many classes and how many people go through to
Yeah.
be at the same one as your brother.
There's one every Tuesday.
Yes.
Every Tuesday, there's a brand new set of troops that are coming in for the Air Force.
Yes. And so, super hot. Went through to my contracting school, which was great.
They're at Lackland as well,
At
correct?
Lackland,
yeah,
we
in
didn't
San
go
Antonio.
very far. It was still like real
Kinda
basic
across the
training.
street.
Yeah, it really was. So they put us on a bus, right? They
Yeah.
put us all on a bus. They drove us to this area. We waited for hours. They put us back on the bus to just drive us. We could have walked across the street, could have gotten there a lot faster.
100%.
But, the Air Force.
Well,
somehow
no, the
they
dorms weren't ready.
No, they weren't.
Well,
ready, apparently.
they weren't ready for you guys to walk over.
But for me, going in as a guard member, you don't always come back with the job immediately, full time in the military.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true.
it's like you might get on
1 week in a
orders.
month, 2 weeks a year. That's what we promised.
Correct. So it's good for people who have full time jobs and are like, I just want to serve part time.
Right.
You go in, you serve. For me, I was kind of looking to start a career in it, which was good because I had a lot of great mentors
Mm-hmm.
coming into the Guard. My first supervisor coming into the Guard in the contracting office, she immediately put me in leadership positions as an
Yeah.
airman, put me in charge of these leaders.
You were a mom and a wife.
Yeah,
You were already
this is true.
an authoritarian, if you will.
But I didn't feel like it. I was like, I need an adult.
Because you were a
just joined.
child.
Yeah.
Yes, in your mind.
Because I was
get it.
21. I had my babies early, and coming into with all these men who have served for a while, especially coming in as a woman.
Sure.
And so she was great and mentoring me. She threw me in a lot of meetings immediately that I had to just sit in front of commanders and these high-ranking individuals and just have to know.
Let's
what
be
to
fair.
do.
She wasn't trying to prep you for life. She just didn't want to do them.
No,
She was flat out hey, you know what? You go off. You go and get and
yeah, because a lot of those meetings are like, why isn't this done yet? Why haven't you guys bought what we wanted to
Exactly.
buy? And I'm like, well, I'll get back to you on the answer.
I don't have an answer for you today, sir, but I'll get back to you.
But it put me in a really great position to get a full-time job.
Yeah.
The thing about contracting is it really does transition well outside of the military.
Unlike
Unlike
weapons.
and
Because, when I was getting ready out, before I became a recruiter, I was thinking I have to do something else because as far as missiles and bombs and bullets on an aircraft, it doesn't transition to the civilian world because I called Southwest and I was like, so you guys got missiles or no? And they're like, you can load bags. I'm like,
that's not as exciting.
I'm going to try to find something else.
Do they drop at some point
Do they
during
drop
the flight?
them? Yeah. We're going to get to reload them.
Do I get to reload them?
Yeah, no. Turns out that's not a thing.
No.
So I became a recruiter,
Yeah,
and
so
that
you
does
kind of
transition.
planned a little bit while you're in something that would transition out, or is that just something did you ever receive guidance to say, hey,
No,
find
absolutely
something
not.
else?
No, listen, my entire career was very much like trial and error. When I first joined, I was like, aircraft maintenance sounds cool. Nobody in my family had joined. Nobody, again, we talked about this last episode or before. I was the first one to graduate high school in my family. And I was the first one to actually leave to go do something in my family. So they didn't, what advice were they going to give me? Hey, make sure you stay away from them girls. That would have been ideal, just saying.
Well, that one didn't work out either, though, did it?
Not in the slightest. But nobody said it, at least not verbatim. That can I remember. But so when I first went to the Guard, I was mad. I remember I was a 22-year-old kid that I was stuck at Luke Air Force Base in Phoenix. I'd been there for 4.5 years. And I'm like, I didn't join the Air Force to stay in Phoenix, Arizona. I want to go. I volunteered for Korea and nothing. Year after year, zero orders. And then finally they're like, you're not going anywhere, bro. Just accept it, I guess. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I had a buddy that said, hey, in Tucson, they have a Guard unit and they hire all the time. And I said, oh, great, let's give it a shot. So I get down there And I go in 2008, right after the election. And what happens after every election and a new inauguration? There's a hiring freeze in the government. So they weren't able to hire me. I was on temporary orders back to back to back. And then finally they lifted the hiring freeze, and there was one job available, and I was the only one that wanted it. Everybody else already had jobs there.
Right.
So they were like, well, Herm, if you want it, you can have it. And I was like, great, what do I do? They're like, fill this out. And, classic Herm, I waited till the very last day. I had to rush home from work to overnight it, FedEx to Phoenix so that it would actually get there in time. And that was the worst part for me because of the fact that my kid does that.
Yeah.
And my other kid does that.
Yeah, you realize what your kids are doing.
And my other kid does that. And I'm like,
it's the karma
it's not karma because
that I have to deal with now.
You unfortunately, you have to deal with it because, my kids do it. And I'm like, hey, listen, it's probably going to work out. Even though I have to tell them to stop doing that. Yeah. But it worked out for me.
Well, and like for that, yes, but you just transfer into another job with weapons, right? From active duty job into the Guard with weapons.
Correct.
But now you went into recruiting.
It so happened, at least for when I went for aircraft maintenance, it was the same aircraft that they flew in Phoenix. They flew here in Tucson. Mm-hmm. And then when I became a recruiter, I was trying to find, because my body had gotten beaten up. I was already starting to break down. I don't have the best genes in the world, I guess, and it's...
I don't know. Your jeans look pretty good on you.
Thank you. So I was just looking for something that I could transition into, that I could maintain a full-time job, because there was a lot of jobs that you could transition into, but you would have to be back on that 1 week in a month, 2 weeks a year, and there's no guarantee you're going to get orders. Right. So whenever I did that, I was like, well, what can I do to stay on orders, but do something else? Mm-hmm. And somebody had mentioned recruiting, and I was like, recruiting? I don't know if I'm going to be good at that. Right. I went and started talking. Luckily, down here at the 162nd, they were very welcoming. I went and I shadowed them, and they led me to understand that, I might not be too bad at this.
Mm-hmm. Which you were an amazing recruiter.
It took me forever to get there, though, as far as actually getting a job.
Well, getting a job, yes.
I got turned down 11 times.
11 times?
Yes.
I was like a job after
3 different
job.
states.
And then you interviewed, and then you wouldn't get the job.
Right.
It was the 12th call?
The 11th.
The 11th call.
That finally they said yes.
Yes.
And it's funny because when I was at tech school for recruiting, I was in school with 3 other guys that had gotten the jobs that I had applied for, and we were all at tech school at the same time.
And they're like lifelong friends.
Yeah, there was a bunch of buddies,
we
and
love them.
Izzy, Ledesma, what's up, guys? Yeah. Anyways, it was a lot of fun. But as a recruiter, yes, I just transition. As you can see, I don't mind talking. It's pretty good at it.
I know.
And it turns out when you're just real with people and you just tell them like, this is what's going to happen and this is what I can promise you, they end up telling their friends and their family and all that stuff. So it was easy for me to transition to that, but it was not easy for me to transition out of it.
No, like for me, transitioning out, what I didn't realize either is that in contracting, you need to have a degree.
Yep.
And while school wasn't my forte initially, I struggled going back to school to get my bachelor's. So getting out initially, it was hard to find a job.
Right.
At least my experience got me somewhere. Thankfully, like in California, I was able to be a project manager for the water company out there, which was amazing, great experience. But I finished my degree in that time. And then once I got my degree, then the doors open for contracting. So there's a lot of things that they don't really tell you or plan for you, talk to you,
prepare you for.
There
Nailed
you go.
It.
That's the word.
You're really good with sayings.
I know, I love it. It's the best. But here you are picking me up.
I got you.
So there's so many things they don't prepare you for, which is like, why not? Right? You think about it and you're
I can answer that. How was I going to prepare a kid to transition out of the Air Force when I ain't done it?
That's true.
So
that's very true.
All of those recruiters that were bringing us into the Air Force, they were literally still in the Air Force.
Yeah.
So how are they going to put you in a position that you are going to be successful when you get out?
Right. And then, you look back and you're like cursing these people for not preparing, but they didn't know either. Yeah. So I guess you humanize them and you give them that. But to now have this podcast, like you said, and prepare people, like transition isn't always easy.
Or as we have found out with a lot of the guys that we've talked to, the longer you're in, the harder it is.
Well, yeah.
You were in for 6 years. The transition for you, one, you were already kind of used to the military lifestyle to begin with. So it was kind of already there for you. And then whenever you get out, you're with me and I'm still in the military. And
We still had, you in the military, but then like I was used to the civilian side of the house or like regular, because civilian is another word that when you say civilian,
civilians don't use that word.
civilians don't use the word
I didn't know
civilian. And
that.
who's a civilian
Yep.
is just someone who's not in the military.
Correct.
And
Them
it's
regulars.
regular, the regular people.
Yeah, regular people.
So seeing that life, I saw it before because I went into the civilian world outside of right out of high school. You didn't have that.
No.
We were talking about this the other day. You went straight from high school to military, and that's all you knew your whole entire
It was 2 weeks.
adult life.
2 weeks from graduation, I was in basic training.
Yeah, so a lot of people who do that, a lot of people do that. They go straight out of high school into the military, serve their life, their whole adult life in the military, and then come out and don't know
Right.
what it's like or don't expect. Like some of the things we talk about is like everything is so structured
Yes.
in the military. You know what your mission is, you know what you're supposed to do, you have tasks, it's done. Well, when you get into civilian life, it's like, okay, what do I do? And then you're kind of like,
The worst part for me is whenever I transitioned out, I think, one, it was difficult because we moved back to Arizona and we had been living in Texas for several years. We had a big group of friends out there and I had, my unit and I had that structure out there, but then we move over here and really all we have is your family who I get along with very well, but that I didn't have anything else. I had my family obviously, but you guys didn't need me. It wasn't like, oh, Dad, we need you to, this or that. And it's like, no, we got it. Because y'all have been doing it this whole time with me in the
without
military.
you, yeah.
And now I'm just walking around with my twiddling my thumbs like, well, what can I do now? And it was really difficult for me to find what to do.
Well, and even to recognize it too, because I think for me, going through it, I didn't realize you were going through it.
Well, because I didn't either.
Well, you didn't either, but like also talking about it, it's hard to talk about. Like
Correct.
not feeling needed or not feeling wanted.
Well, it's because we need to understand the thing about men in the military. We don't have feelings.
Oh, you're not supposed
Yeah,
to.
we haven't been issued feelings, so therefore we don't have feelings.
Right.
So all those things that you think are emotions, yeah, you're wrong.
So it was rough. I mean, to say we didn't have a hard patch in that time frame.
A hard one.
It was rough.
Yeah.
Like really bad fights and really bad arguments that didn't know where it stemmed from.
Right.
Like we felt like we were kind of drifting apart.
Correct.
But we didn't know why.
I guess the best part for us is, we've been told that our relationship is #goals.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, you guys are so great. And it's like, oh, hold on. No, don't. We love each other. We definitely get along for the most part. But there are times that we're just like, if you don't get away from me,
Yeah.
it's good. But we've gotten very good at communicating.
Well, and I think we took that stop, right? We have,
You say we, it was you.
yeah. I mean, it was me
Yeah.
to say like, whoa, what's going on?
Correct. And
You
I was
need-
like, nothing.
We need to figure it out because I feel like in a relationship, like you said, it's teamwork. We're a
is.
team in this. And I was like, we need to get through this because I want this relationship
The
to
credit
work.
that I will give myself, which you know how good I am at giving myself credit. Yeah, I'm so good. Is the fact that I listened and I accepted instead of just being the normal me, which the normal me is, go ahead, do whatever you want. I'm going to continue on what I'm doing. The normal me was like, no, this is different. I have to listen. And it was not the easiest thing.
It's hard to push that pride aside sometimes.
I don't know that it's pride. I think it's just stubbornness. Because, truthfully, I mean, for me, I'm not proud. I'm certainly not proud of it. And that's not what I would call it.
Yeah.
I think it's just behavior. It's habit. It's habit in the sense in the military world. Do what I say, or you're going to get in trouble. And we're completely out of the military. And you're like, well, no. You need to do what I say, or we're not going to be talking anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. What happened?
It was taking that pause.
Yeah.
And being like, no, we need to work on this
Yes.
together and being supportive in that and patience. It took so much patience.
On your end.
Yeah. Well, and I think patience you with yourself and going
Yeah.
through it and understanding you're going through it.
Actually talking to people.
Yeah.
That was a big thing. That was I had my my chief retired back in August, and he had done me the honor of asking me to sing his national anthem for him at his retirement because I could sing a little bit. Like I'm not like you know what I mean. But anyway, I pulled him aside. I made it a point, and he's older than me. He's 44, 45. I'm not sure.
Put his
Yeah,
business out there.
He's he old. Chief, what up? But I made it a point before his retirement to let him know, hey, listen, there are going to be things that I don't care how many people you talk to, you're not going to be prepared for. And I gave him the option, or at least the outlet to say, I don't care what time it is, I don't care where you're at. If you need to call, if you need to reach out, if you need to just vent, FaceTime, whatever you need, dude, I'm here.
Yeah.
And I made it a point to let him know that there's going to be a time that you just don't know what to do. And it's okay. It's okay to reach out. And he hasn't had to at this point. Hopefully he's doing great. And we check in on, from time to time, just like all old buddies do.
We have accountability.
Absolutely.
Accountability partners. And that's, I think, something huge that you're getting ready to transition out of the military, or you've already transitioned out of the military. Find yourself an accountability partner. Find yourself someone who's been through it already. Find yourself someone that you can reach out to in those hard times. It's going to just listen. Sometimes it just takes someone to listen.
And we understand it is so much easier said than done. It is so much easier said than done. And I mean, it's so hard to take your own advice. And luckily I did.
You did?
And I'm still, it's definitely not a overnight thing. I've been retired almost a year. I mean, I go to therapy. I try to be as open as I can with you. I have my little brother who also transitioned out of the Air Force. He's helpful. We can bounce things off of each other, especially the fact that he can relate to me a lot more because he was also an aircraft mechanic. So he was a crew chief. I was a weapons guy. And we went through the same, what do I call it? Trauma bonding. Trauma bonding. Yeah, it's our favorite. But we went through the same stuff. So it's easy for us to relate.
Well, yeah, and it's redefining your purpose. It's finding, I think, biggest thing for me in the transition of coming out of the military and finding my new life and the things that I'm doing is what makes me happy, and then following that path.
Right.
And I think this podcast kind of helped us to redefine what makes us happy.
This was almost an instant fix in a sense of we're doing something together. You're not forcing me to do this. I'm certainly not forcing you to do this.
You see, he said it out loud. I'm not forcing him. He's here at free will.
Who are you talking to? I am. And this is one of those things that I remember when you first said we're going to record it, and I'm like, but why? That's weird. And we had to redo the first episode. You're like, stop talking like that to the camera. Just talk to me. I'm like, am I not? Am I not?
What do I do with my?
I don't know. It was scary, but it was fun to do, and thankfully this is actually something that has progressed into something.
It is, and
hopefully we continue to push it. We continue to make it into something more. We reach more veterans, and we let them know. I know you don't know us. I know you don't know us, and sometimes it's actually the easiest thing to do is to talk to somebody who you don't know, who can't judge you because they don't know your story.
Third party,
non-biased, and I'm going to give you the most honest position, at least for me, because I'm gonna say the things that you're like, did you just say that?
Yeah,
he
will.
Look, man, I'm
They'll
just
ask
being
you
real.
the hard questions. You're like, I didn't really think about it that way.
Correct. Yeah. So that is one of the things that, at least for us, that we are here. We are the ones that are going to be listening.
Yeah. No, and I think the experiences we've had in our military careers and the people we bring on with their experiences, just know you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're all going through it, and we're here.
But before we roll out, tell me what's your favorite thing from going into civilian life than the military? Transitioning. What's better for you as a civilian than it was in the military?
That I can do PT on my own, and I'm not forced to run a mile and a half.
So that it's especially now.
Especially now, I will gladly run.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to.
I lost all kinds of weight.
Yeah.
I lost all kinds of weight.
Yeah.
I was just showing our producers the pictures of back and or before and after, and they're like, "Oh my god, my favorite thing." You're looking at it.
What's that? Your beard.
I haven't shaved in almost a year.
Listen. This is.
And I don't care what y'all gotta say about my beard. I don't care if you think it's pretty.
No. You actually it's good. The
Sure.
beard looks good. At first though, when you were growing the straggly, oh my god.
Well, because you had to do the year.
A
year with no shaving, and it's been because I started early.
Listen, it was rough, guys.
Hey,
it was rough. You can look back in our pictures on our social medias to see how rough it was
and all that stuff.
But
it's nice.
I'm glad Roberto down
Yeah, my boy.
on 12th.
Yeah,
It's
on 12th
really
in Nebraska. He's doing
got
great.
you together with that beard.
But with that said, speaking of Roberto at the barbershop, hopefully he jumps on as a sponsorship.
Yes.
But we want to thank the sponsors that we currently have.
Yes.
All right. And anybody that wants to jump on to the sponsorship program, please reach out to us, DM. Hit us up on hermshousepodcast at gmail.com or go to our Instagram, Herm's House Podcast. And also, we have TikTok, we have a Facebook, we have all kinds of things, and
All of
also
the social media.
download us on Apple. You have Spotify. You got all that stuff.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
Follow, like, subscribe to Herm's
Comment.
House Podcast.
Don't be mean.
You'll comment. We'd love to hear what you want us to talk about.
Yeah, but we'd like to thank our current sponsors: Masterpiece Studios International, Intelligent Design, Mental Health Podcast. Give that a shot. Give that a listen. The Common Good Radio Show and Beautiful Sunday Marketing Collective, which one of our very own is a kind of a part of that.
Yeah.
Kind of the
Yep.
owner.
Definitely.
And
And
she
this
does amazing.
Yes, and this show wouldn't be what it is without the continued support of those sponsors. Your partnership helps us keep the conversation going and the outreach growing. And again, like you said, if you want to sponsor, reach out. We'd be happy to hear from you because together we can amplify veteran voices, build bridges, and create real impact one story at a time.
Okay, so that's our time. Remember, no matter where you are, you're always welcome at Herm's house, and don't stay too late because again, I'll get in trouble. And I just want to clarify that if I don't say that. All right, but in all seriousness, you do matter, and we are here for you. Okay, bye.
It's Herm's house.
Bye.
In Herm's house.